Hello everyone, welcome to lectures by Aparna. This is a part 1 video of types of BJT biasing circuits. In today's video we will discuss about BJT biasing circuit called fixed bias circuit. Fixed bias circuit. I had done a video on the need for biasing in a BJT circuit. If you want to watch, you can check out its link given in the description box just below this video. So let's move on to today's session. Before going to a fixed bias circuit, you must know some things. So I am considering a very simple common emitter amplifier like this. This is a base, this is a collector and this is a emitter of the NPN transistor. The emitter terminal is common for both input side and the output side, and hence this is a common emitter amplifier. We are giving an input sinusoidal signal Vs here on the input side. So this is the input signal Vs. The collector voltage VCC and resistance RC is connected in the output side. V0 is the output voltage which will be an amplified version of this input signal Vs. It is necessary that the transistor remains in the active mode for the entire input sine wave. Only in that case will amplification occur. For the transistor to be in the active mode, its base emitter junction should be forward biased and collector base junction should be reverse biased. Detailed videos on active mode, cutoff mode, saturation mode, etc. will be available in the description box. So please go check if you want to know more about these different modes of operation of the BJT. So here in this circuit you can see that during the positive half cycle of the signal, this is a positive half cycle, and during the positive half cycle of the input signal, the base emitter junction will be forward biased because this is an NPN transistor. So this is N region, P region, N region. So when this base is at a higher potential compared to this emitter, this junction will be forward biased. So during the positive half cycle, what is happening? This region will be at higher potential compared to this region. So this base emitter junction will be forward biased. But in the negative half cycle, what is happening? In the negative half cycle of the input signal, this base emitter junction will be reverse biased. So what will happen if base emitter junction goes reverse biased? This transistor will go to cutoff mode because the condition for cutoff mode is that base emitter junction reverse biased and collector base junction is reverse biased. In that case, it will go to cutoff mode. So in the negative half cycle, the transistor will go to cutoff mode. When it goes to cutoff mode, what will happen? The output voltage V0 will become 0 during the negative half cycle of the input signal. So the output signal will be like, this is V0, will be like this. So this is an inverted amplified clipped version of the input signal. For a common emitter amplifier, the output signal will always be an inverted plus an amplified version of the input signal. That is, if the input signal is like this, the output signal will be an amplified version but inverted like this for a common emitter amplifier. So here also it will be inverted, but since the transistor is in cutoff mode in the negative half cycle, what will happen? In the negative half cycle of the input signal, this portion will be 0. V0 will be equal to 0. So in order to obtain a complete sinusoidal waveform of the output signal, what will you do? You will have to modify this circuit. How will you modify this circuit? So you have to do like this. You give a DC supply here along with this AC signal. This is VBB. This is Vs. So we are placing a DC supply VBB here. This will provide the necessary voltage for the base emitter junction to keep it in forward bias even during the negative half cycle of the input signal. So what will be the voltage that is coming at the base? So I am drawing the voltage at base here. Let the voltage here be VB. So it will be shifted upwards. This is a input AC signal which has been superimposed with the DC signal. So the voltage coming at the base VB is like this. This input signal will be shifted upwards by DC level VBB. Now even during the negative half cycle of the input wave, the transistor will be in the active mode and so it can do amplification function. So the output you will get a full wave without any rectification. So this is the need for a DC supply at the input side of the amplifier. It is from this need for a DC supply at the input side that the fixed bias circuit for BJT biasing is emerging. Now let us see a fixed bias circuit. So this is a fixed bias circuit that is used for biasing BJT circuit. This is the fixed bias circuit. It is also called fixed base bias circuit. Fixed biasing is getting its name because it fixes the base current IB at a constant value. Once the transistor is biased with the circuit and the operating point is fixed, then you can give the input signal accordingly and make it an amplifier. So here at the input side, VBB is connected and there is a base resistor RB. So this will help to fix the value of IB, which is needed for the circuit. So this fixing of the base current will help to fix the operating point at a particular value that is best for amplification. Fixing operating point means deciding the value of VCE and IC for the circuit so that you get good amplification. By fixing the value of IB, you can fix the value of VCE and IC also. Now this circuit can be redrawn as, this is the same as this circuit. So here there are two voltage supplies. From practical point of view, it is always preferable to have an electronic circuit that works on single supply. So we don't need two supplies here. From the same VCC, we can give it to RB and make it a single DC supply. So the circuit can be modified like this. Only thing is that you will have to choose the value of RB according to this VCC to get whatever value of IB you need. So from here on we are using this circuit as fixed bias circuit and we will do the analysis of this circuit now. First I am considering the input portion of this circuit. So here this is a VCC, since both in the input side and the output side the DC supply given is VCC. Then in the input side there is a resistance RB and the voltage across the base emitter junction is VB. Base is at a higher potential compared to this emitter. Now let us use KVL or Kirchhoff's voltage law here. So KVL says that the algebraic sum of voltages in a loop is 0. So I am considering this loop. So applying KVL here, I am starting from here. VCC plus VCC because this is an increase in potential. So plus VCC, when I reach here it will be current is flowing in this portion. So this current flows from a higher potential to a lower potential. So there is a decrease in potential. So it will be minus the potential across RB is IB RB. When I reach here, there is again a decrease in potential which is minus VB is equal to 0. So from this equation, I have to write the equation for IB. So VCC minus VB is equal to IB RB, or IB is equal to VCC minus VB divided by RB. VCC and RB is given here. The values will be here. So from and VB value for a silicon transistor, for silicon transistor VB will be 0.7. If it is germanium transistor, its value will be 0.3 volt. So accordingly you can substitute these values for VB and find the value of IB. So IB will be fixed. Now consider the output section. Here this VCC is the voltage connected in the output side. RC is the collector resistance. VC is the voltage across collector and emitter. Now I have to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in this loop. So here I am starting from here. This is an increase in potential. So it is plus VCC minus ICRC because current is flowing from a higher potential to a lower potential. So it will be minus RC. Again here it is a decrease in potential. So minus VCE equal to 0. So we have to find IC. We know IC is equal to beta IB, where beta is the current amplification factor. IB we have found from the input section. So beta value will be specified for a particular transistor. So you can find out this IC. Now if you know IC, VCC and RC, you can find VCE. So VCE is equal to VCC minus ICRC. Thus you got the value of VCE and IC, which will define the operating point for an amplifier. So this is a fixed bias circuit. So by fixing the base current, you can fix the operating point of an amplifier. And this is everything you want to know about a fixed bias circuit. If this video has helped you, please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.